Hello, witches. Welcome to Witch Whisper. My name is Anya, and I'm with Sarah and Witchery.
And I'm Debbie from If the Broom Fits.
So this episode we're calling The Descent into Darkness. We're going to be talking about the period between Samhain, which is October 31st, and Yule, which is the winter solstice, the longest night of the year. And this has been translated into modern witchcraft, and we consider it the journey to the underworld, the dark half of the year. So it starts with Samhain, and that is the descent. That is the marking of the end of the harvest. So we do no more harvests after Samhain, and it is the Celtic New Year. So a lot of witches call it our New Year, the Witches' New Year. It's the start of the dark and quiet season of winter, and it's seen as the moment of maximum liminality. Okay, so what that means is the veil between the physical world and the other world is at the thinnest. So some of the things that we talk about during Samhain, and I know that I'm doing a lot of talking, and Debbie's going to add in here and there, and then she's going to have her part.
Yeah, I want you to take care of this Samhain to
Yule.
Yeah.
So this represents the death of the god and the descent of the goddess. So in many traditions, this is when the god, who represents the growing and the sunny part of the year, dies or retreats into the underworld, which begins a period of rest and regeneration. The goddess is often seen in her crone aspect at this point. So wiseness, dark, and the guide of souls. So think Hecate, Persephone. She may be mourning the god or descending into the underworld herself, awaiting for the rebirth of the god at Yule. The thin barrier that is the veil allows us for direct communication with our ancestors or the spirits of those who have passed on. Practices during this time often focus on honoring or seeking wisdom from our loved ones who have passed on. So ancestor altars, we do the dummy dinner at Samhain, which is where we set out plates for those who have passed on, and we invite them to come and revel with us for the Witches' New Year. And it's the end of the old year and the beginning of a new for a witch. And Samhain is the ideal time to start with reflection, divination, and releasing, because this is a time to let go of what no longer serves you. Metaphorically, dying to the old patterns that we have and preparing for the new patterns, our new cycles. Now, when we go from Samhain to Yule, that's when we go to the underworld. That's our journey to the underworld. And this is the deepest dive into the darkness, both physically and the shortening of days and spiritually. So think about it. If you keep track of the sun up and sundown, at this point, we're losing anywhere between 2 and 4 minutes a day. That's why it's getting dark at 4:30, So when we get into this dark part of the year, what we need to do is turn into our internal reflections. So the physical world is dormant. It's mirroring the spiritual work that is required for us to do. This is a time to turn inward. Much like seeds rest beneath the frozen ground, it encourages us to meditate, be introspective, and confronting our shadow self or the hidden parts of us that need healing. This is the time of fertile darkness. The underworld isn't necessarily a place of punishment, and Christian and a lot of the Abrahamic faiths really like, oh, the underworld, it's hell. Witches do not believe in hell. We believe in an underworld, and an underworld is a place of ultimate transformation, rest, and rebirth. Yes, it's dark, but so is the fertile womb, where the seeds of the coming spring are being silently nurtured. This is a period for dreaming, planning, and preparing for the light's return on Yule. We're embracing the mysteries. The journey from Samhain to Yule is about accepting the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. It teaches us that death is an essential restorative step before the renewal can happen. By surrendering to the darkness and the quiet, one allows inner wisdom and new intentions to take its root. Then we come to Yule, which is the rebirth. The winter solstice is the longest night of the year, and it is the culmination of the journey into the darkness. It's a turning point because at this moment, the dissension stops and the sun god, S-U-N, is reborn because the light starts returning. It signifies the end of the journey to the underworld. And the darkest night gives us the first lengthening of the day. So if you were keeping track of how many minutes of light we have per day and you're doing the sun up and sundown, starting on Yule, you'll start noticing we get more time during the day. So we'll get anywhere between 2 and 4 minutes per day where it's actually lighter. This is the promise of that light. It marks the shift towards the light half of the year, symbolically planting the seeds for the new cycle. The introspection of preceding weeks now focuses on the conscious birthing of new goals and energies that will be acted upon in the spring. Because again, the spring is when we have that equal day, equal night. So in essence, the philosophy encourages embracing the natural wisdom and rhythm from Mother Earth. The darkness between Samhain and Yule is a necessary spiritual retreat. I know a lot of teachers that during the darkest time from Samhain to Yule, they don't go on Facebook at all. They don't use social media at all. That's their break. Okay. And everybody does it differently. It's a time for that spiritual retreat to help you with the quiet ancestral depths to heal, to gain wisdom, and prepare for the returning dynamic outward energy at Yule and beyond. So Debbie has some information about the deities that this has to do with, and to make sure that there's more than just this information. What do you do for the dark time, Debbie?
Well, for one thing, before we move into that, I wanted to say too, I've had people like, oh, I hate this time of year. We lose our sun and it just makes me grumpy because they're not using it to their best advantage.
Exactly.
They have to think about it as from Yule to Samhain,
right,
is daytime.
Right.
And from Samhain to spring is nighttime. And everybody loves to sleep.
True that.
So because they need their rest, they need to regather, recharge. So that's
and thinking too about how it was before we had clocks and electricity, you know, when we think about that, this was a time where you couldn't plant anything, you couldn't harvest anything, you already did your canning. This was the time to really retreat and to have those circadian rhythms that we have grown out of, or become, I should say, been trained out of. Because it used to be where you went to bed really early and then you got up for 2 or 3 hours in the night. Well, that was so you could feed your fire and keep your house warm. But now we don't have that because we have electric heaters, you know, and stuff like that. So we've been kind of trained out of that. But I can tell you, as a person who right now doesn't have the same amenities that most people do have during the winter, I have found that I'm sleeping more. And it's because it's so dark, so early.
And you probably need to recharge.
Exactly.
Because, you know, with electricity and everything, we're going.
Oh, yeah, because you can just turn on a light and see.
Right.
Where back then, it was like, once it got dark, you had candles and fire, and that was it.
And did you know that usually people, I cannot remember what the name of the show is. I will have to check on that and get back with everyone. But it used to be that people would wake up at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and go and visit neighbors. They would leave a candle in the window so they could see their way back. They would go and do visiting at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, come home about 6 or 7, have breakfast, and maybe take a nap.
Right.
And then, because in the winter, they can't go out and plant.
Right. Oh, they can't even, I mean,
they can't really do much of anything.
There's no birthing.
So this is the time to take care of self, enjoy friends and family and games, whatever, so you can recharge. And so many people do not use it for what it is for.
Oh, no, absolutely they don't. Absolutely they don't.
So I just want to put that out there because so many people are like, oh my God, I can't wait until the sun comes back again. Well, why can't you enjoy what you have?
Well, and that, I think that is a societal thing, though.
It is. It is.
It's definitely, well, you have to keep up with the Joneses. I don't want to keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
I want to be able to
live. The Joneses are unhappy.
Yes, right.
They're just putting on airs.
But
they're unhappy.
It makes me think of Practical Magic when Aunt was like, you know, they look happy, but he's sleeping with the babysitter and she can eat a pound cake in under a minute.
Yeah.
Because outwardly, they look like they're, the happy couple. When in all actuality, in the dark, they're not as happy as they are letting on.
Yeah. I mean, you think about it nowadays, both members of the family, both members of the couple, if you will, have to work. They don't get to spend a lot of time together because when they're home together, they usually have about an hour to eat. They got to clean up the mess. By the time 9 o'clock rolls around, they're ready for bed.
Right, because they got to get up
long because they got to get up so bloody early to go to work.
Exactly.
So why not use this time to get to know your partner, get to know yourself again? Because you don't do that connection thing in the summer. I mean, people are like, I'm on vacation and I'm doing this. Yes, you're doing. When are you sitting down and actually, when was the last time that people actually sat down and had a conversation with their spouse?
Without their phone in their face.
Yeah.
Without their phone in their face. Put the phone down. And that's another thing too. That's another source of light that we don't think about often
But it is the light.
But it is. It's a light and it gives off light. And right now we're supposed to be in that dark. I mean,
and I like ambient light. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, me too. I like ambient.
I have the Govee lights that are on my bed frame. Okay. I have them set to come on at 4 o'clock, but they're subdued, and that's just so I can see.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
when I walk in there and don't fall over things.
Right. Exactly.
But it's very soft. And in our home, we have one light on, and it's very soft and muted. And I have family members that come on, they're like, it's like a cave in here. Turn on some light. No, thank you. I'm doing just fine. And, you know, Sweetie and I, we take time every single night just to have at least 10, 15, 20-minute conversation. You know, how are you feeling? What was the most fun thing you did today? Right. You know, stupid shit like that. Sorry.
No, you're good. We're allowed to cuss. We say it's not for kids under 18. We're good. We purposely mark it that way.
It's really not stupid.
No, it's not. It's reconnecting. I mean, look at people usually now they're like, my husband's driving me crazy. Okay, wait, stop.
Why?
But you love this about him 2 years ago. Why all of a sudden is it driving you crazy? Well, because you're in the underworld and you're learning more about yourself and you're finding that specific, let's call it a tick, is something that not only do you not enjoy anymore, but it drives you nuts. So maybe it's time to sit down and say, hey, I've got some stuff we've got to talk about. Not that you're going to be hard and heavy hitting.
No.
But again, because it's cold, we're not going out as often.
Right.
I mean, here at Sarah and Witchery, and If the Broom Fits Both, if it's inclement weather and we have snow, neither one of us come in because it's just not worth it.
No.
We don't want our customers getting hurt on their way in.
Don't want our customers to get hurt.
And that's why
or us either.
Right, exactly. But when you're thinking about that, that's one of the reasons why Christmas lights are such a big thing. It's because those lights remind us that the light is coming.
It is coming, but don't, it's like everything else. Oh my God, when I was little, I couldn't wait to grow up. Yeah, well, I'd like to rethink that. But, everything is, I can't wait for this. I can't wait for that. Take advantage of where you are at any given point in time. You're where you're supposed to be for a reason.
Exactly.
If things aren't to your liking, change them.
Well, and this is where when you become tired of something and you can no longer do something and you come to a place where you will no longer tolerate something, a very wise witch by the name of Miss Remy told me once, that is when that moment of change comes about. And this is when a lot of moments of change come about, because we are sitting in that underworld, that dark spot and looking at ourselves going, what is it about myself that I don't like, that I need to heal or change?
Exactly.
This is not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is it, our shadow, everybody's like, well, the shadow work is working on what you don't like. Well, it's not necessarily working on what you don't like. It's working on your non-healed parts so that you can go about it with healed energy and face it in a different tone.
And what you don't need.
Exactly.
Anymore. You may have grown out of that.
Mm-hmm.
God forbid you grow out of being with your spouse. But that could be true.
It happens.
And it's a conversation that you need to have. Perhaps
exactly.
you don't want that to happen. Maybe you need to have a conversation.
Right. Exactly. And that's where you start talking.
Converse anymore.
Nope.
I can't tell you how many times I've been out to dinner and seen like 5 people in a family and every single one of them is on their freaking phone.
Oh, and they don't even speak to each other.
No.
I mean, I'm just like, oh my God, and everybody's like, when BJ and I go out, often we'll put our phones away.
Mm-hmm.
And if we pull it out, it's because, we have to look at our bank account and make sure we have enough money to pay the bill.
Right.
But we try not to be on our phones because we have found that we just don't talk.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a reconnection, if you will. The trees, when they go into the darkness, they might be dozing, but they're not asleep. Their roots are reaching out, finding new water sources, finding new food sources. This is a time of reflection, time to find yourself.
Right.
And it's once a year. People talk about, I need to go on vacation and re-energize, but they don't. They do all the time. They're go, going. I just spoke to an acquaintance of mine who went on vacation for a week. And I said, what all did you do? Oh my God, she made me tired just listening to
I know,
her.
Right? We went on this tour. We went on this hike.
In a 1 week vacation, she went on 22 excursions.
Lord. See, and if I'm like I want to lay in bed and just take in the atmosphere of being in someplace else. But that's me, and everybody's different.
But that isn't re-energizing. That's expending energy.
True.
So this is a time to re-energize, connect with the world, connect with what you like, disconnect from what you don't like, which is really difficult to do.
Especially right now, with the way society is and what's going on.
And if you're in a situation, how about taking a few minutes to think about that situation and try and ponder, okay, why am I in this situation? And what can I do to change it?
Exactly.
So what I was going to talk about is the sacred silence of winter.
Lovely.
Okay, this is from, I can't even pronounce this lovely person's name. I can't even tell you if it's male or female by the name. So it's Ksenia Odentsova.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
If we butchered it, we apologize now in advance. We are American, so.
But she got her poo together.
Right.
So, in the cycle of the pagan wheel of the year, winter is the time of deep stillness, death, and eventual rebirth. Okay, death. That doesn't mean you're going to die.
No, different kind of, it's like the death card in tarot.
Yeah.
The death card does not necessarily mean physical death. It's those 10 psychological stressors that they talk
you need to
about.
get rid of.
Exactly.
You know,
You get married, you get divorced, you start a job, you end a job, you move,
yeah.
you know,
Clean out your drawers, your closets.
right.
This is all things that you can do during the dark time. Because
Exactly.
why? You don't have time in the light time because you're too busy running around.
Well, and
going
back
on
then,
vacation
it was planting in the
planting
fields and
yeah, all that kind of stuff. So this is a time for you to relax a little bit and go within. So it's the season of the crone. Think about your grandmother. Does your grandmother run? I mean, unless you're me. Does your grandmother run? Because I spent all day Sunday baking cookies. I just want everybody to know
you said
that.
it almost killed you.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm talking about. It just about killed me all afternoon on Sunday. That's all I did. 20 years ago, I'd have been,
right.
Just no problem. This time it's like, oh man.
How many more do I have to put in the oven?
Oh,
when is the timer going to go off? Jesus
right.
Christ.
So think about the crone. She's in the underworld. It's a slow return of the sun. Don't rush that sun to come back. Don't rush that light to come back. Take advantage of this darkness.
Exactly.
Though it may seem barren and cold, winter is rich with symbolism, myth, and spiritual power. So let's talk about the mythos, if you will, meaning of winter. Winter represents the long night of the soul.
Yep.
A liminal space between what has died and what is yet to be born. In pagan cosmology, it is not to be confused with makeup. Okay. It is not.
We're talking about the cosmos.
The cosmos.
The space.
Not cosmetology.
Space.
It is not a season to fear, but one to respect, reflect, and prepare. And
here's a good point too. When you said it's the quiet, there are some species, we'll go with bear because it's the most well known, that hibernate. It's not that they're hibernating because, well, it is cold out and that is part of it. But the reason they're hibernating is because food is shorter because nothing's growing. And so you are also in a quote unquote, and I'm using air quotes, hibernation as well when you do that.
Well, you should be. Anyhow, but did you know too that when you go to zoos and stuff, the bears and everything are out. They don't go into hibernation.
Well, it's because they were temperature controlled
and they're being fed every day.
Yeah, they don't have to worry about the scarcity.
They don't go into hibernation, and it messes with them.
Oh yeah, I could only imagine.
Yeah. So
I mean, imagine
think on that.
Not sleeping.
Think if you didn't get to sleep every night.
That's what I was thinking. Oh my God.
Yeah. Think how fuzzy your brain is when you don't get to sleep good at night, how grumpy maybe you are.
You don't process things well.
Yes. So you need to use this time to your benefit.
Exactly.
It's both an ending and a promise of renewal. So take advantage of it. I'm going to keep saying that till people are listening. In many cultures, the season also marks the birth of the sun, the return of hope after darkness.
But we want to clarify it's the S-U-N, not the S-O-N. That's a whole nother discussion that we touched on.
Right.
Our first season when we talked about the Sabbats.
So, and we don't have a problem. That's for other people.
Yep. You do you.
Yeah. The winter solstice, Yule, is a sacred moment of turning. When light begins, it's slow return. Slow. Thank you. Slow
return.
Yes.
2 minutes a day. That is not fast.
That's not.
I'm just saying.
Symbols of winter in paganism. Snow and ice is purity, clarity, stillness, and the sleep of the earth. I mean, if you want to make moon water, what better thing than to go out and get some snow, put it in a bottle, and set it out underneath the moon, and you've
Mhm.
got all that pristine snow.
Just don't drink it.
Yeah, don't drink it.
Don't drink it.
It's not good.
Don't drink it.
Evergreen trees, eternal life, resilience, and protection from spirits. These are things that you can bring into your home and use for your rituals, for any kind of celebration.
Well, and it's one of the reasons evergreens was brought in, because it was one of the few trees that were not deciduous, losing their leaves in the fall. And so that's why it was a promise of it coming back, because it was, again, the name gives it away, evergreen.
Yule logs burn to invoke warmth, ward off darkness, and bring blessings. Stars and candles, symbols of hope, light, guidance through the shadows. So use these symbols, use them however.
And if you can't use regular candles, the new electronic candles do a very good job in giving the ambient. I mean, in my apothecary, I have the hanging candles from the Harry Potter series. And at night, every once in a while, I'll turn off all the lights after I close, and I'll keep them on, and I'll just sit in here and watch the glow of the electronic candles. Because I know there are some people, like in apartments, you can't have open flames, but you can have the electronic candle, and it still gives you that feel of the darkness, yet a little bit of light, that little bit of hope.
We have a fireplace, and we use it like that all the time.
There you
Sometimes we turn off all the lights and just sit with the fireplace on, lit. It's not
well, if it's electric, it's on.
Not. It's a real fireplace, which I absolutely love. Okay, so Yule, for all of you who don't know, is celebrated around the 21st. Yule honors the rebirth of the sun. Fires are lit. Evergreens are brought indoors, and feasting reconnects people with community and warmth. And that's so important.
Well, and there's
So
the
important
evergreens again with the wreaths and the tree and
that's why they're there.
log. Yeah, exactly.
I've had people are like, "You're pagan, right?" Yeah. Well, then why do you have a Christmas tree? And I'm like,
because we had them first.
I'm pagan and I have a Christmas tree, and now I'm going to turn that around. Why do you? You're Christian.
Oh, I saw a meme just recently, like, oh, the devil's holiday is over. I can't wait for Christmas. And then there was Kristoff from Elsa going, I'm going to tell him. Are you going to tell him? No, I'm going to tell him. Because everything that is used to signify Christmas was taken from the pagan faith and switched around. So we do have Christmas trees. We do have Yule logs. We do have wreaths and branches and holly and so on and so forth. But it was because of appreciating what we had, the beauty of what was available during the dark time is where some of these traditions were birthed.
So use it. Offerings to the spirits. I have people who come in and they're like, okay, I want to set up an altar for blah blah blah.
Right.
What do I put on it? And I always tell them to research whatever deity they're working with, first of all.
Always important.
Yes. And second of all, if you don't know, choose what you want. Your intentions are there. Look, I'm so sorry. I don't know what you want, but this is what I like. And so I'm gifting it to you.
And 9 out of 10 times the deities are like, well, thank you.
Yes. So do that. In Slavic and Norse traditions, offerings were left for household spirits, ancestors, or forest beings to ensure peace through the harsh season. Good thing to do. Make offerings, so that you get to eat well. Share. Dream and prophecy work. This is so important. It's so cool. It's my favorite thing to do.
Well, especially because we're in the darkness, you're going to be sleeping more.
Right. And make sure you write it down. Get you a book.
Dream journal.
Which, just a little plug, we have new ones in the shop.
There we go.
Just in case you'd like
Come on in and see them.
Come in and see them. Anyway, long nights were ideal for divination, as winter is a time when the veil is again thin, particularly around Yule and mid-January. So many people's cultures, they used to have divination parties all the way through the Victorian era. Things like that.
Oh, yes. The spirituality movement.
Okay, so pagan deities of winter. We talked about that a couple minutes ago. Okay.
Yep.
So Morana, I tried to get different ones here. Morzana, which is Slavic, goddess of winter, death, and rebirth, often symbolized by a straw effigy. She cast out or burned in early spring to welcome warmth. Then Perun, also Slavic, though known as the god of thunder, he was also called upon in winter storms for protection and balance. Which I know, side note here, I have things floating around in my head. My husband calls them superfluous bullshit. Floats around in my head. So just so you know, there is a such thing as called snow thunder.
Yep.
It is when you are having a snowstorm, no rain in sight, and thunder.
Oh.
And I put it up. I want to experience that. I have never experienced that. So bring it on, baby.
Right.
I want to know. I love thunder. Skadi is also north, goddess of snow and wilderness, protector of hunters and those who thrive in cold. The Kaliak, my personal favorite. Celtic, ancient crone goddess of winter. She shaped the land with her staff and ruled until spring. These deities remind us that rest is sacred. Let me say that one more time.
Slower.
Rest is sacred, and that every ending holds a seed of transformation. One of the two stones that would be really good for crystals are the snowflake obsidian, and then I have Lemurian seed crystals, which are really, really good. You use those for the seeds of inspiration, your dreams, like you were talking about a few minutes ago. Start using these things. People are always like, what am I supposed to do in the wintertime? You've got a lot of homework.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty to do.
Yeah, if you want to expound on your spirituality,
now's the time.
Now's the time. It's also good for mental health.
Yep.
People say,
because you slow yourself down.
Right. People say, oh, but it makes me depressed. Only because you're using it incorrectly.
Or, okay, I can see using it incorrectly, but here's where I'd like to throw out this. Societally, we are trained that this is depressed. This is a depressing time because we hear, oh, it's just so depressing. Well, I know people who love to go skiing and snowboarding and snowshoeing and blah, 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 outdoor stuff. Now, personally, I love to snowshoe, but it is a lot for me because the way that my body is, if I get too cold and I can't warm up, I go into like shock almost because my bones ache so bad.
I bitch.
But right, that too. but the thing is being out and seeing the beauty of being out in that, even if it's, I remember one time my ex-husband took us all out and we were going skiing and snowboarding and I went snowshoeing, but there was a beautiful time with the fireplace going and these big, beautiful picturesque windows and just being able to see the beauty of the snow falling and just being in that moment is life-changing because you have that moment of just absolute beauty that you cannot recreate anywhere else.
And introspection. It is so good for you to have introspection. That's where your creativity comes about. If you're not rested, it's not going to.
You're not going to be thinking straight. We just talked about sleep deprivation, and most pet families now at this point, you know, we were talking like when we were growing up, and when I say we're only 10 years apart, but we are an older generation.
Believe me, it makes a difference. I just discovered that on Sunday when I made all those freaking cookies.
I know, right? But the thing is, though, is we were taught that you can't get depressed. You can't slow down. If you slow down, it's going to be bad for your mental health. When in all actuality, it's the opposite.
And that doesn't mean that you never do anything.
No, 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 no.
Laziness is totally different from what we're talking about here.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't
Although I
misconstrue
have
the
my
two.
own definition
Right.
of laziness, because whenever I went for a job, they would ask me, okay, tell me something about yourself that is not well known. Well, I'm lazy. And they would look at me like, you're sharing that? Well, yeah, because I get the job done right the first time. So I have plenty of time just to kick back and do nothing.
Right, exactly. If I do it and
Yeah.
I do it right, I don't have to worry about
Now,
it in 20, 30
use-
minutes.
In my opinion, if you use lazy that way, it's perfect.
Right. But we're
it's
not
different.
talking about the societal
Right.
lazy.
Mhm.
The societal lazy is, oh, well, you don't work. And
Yeah.
what I was going to say is when we were younger, you only had to have one job
Mhm.
in order
No.
to pay for
Right.
rent and food and
Yeah.
now you have to work 2-3 jobs.
Yeah.
When do you have that time to rest
Mhm.
from those 2-3 jobs and making ends meet? I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's caused us to become in this place of, well, if you slow down, if you do self-care, oh, you're quote unquote lazy.
Yeah. Use it to your benefit is what I say.
Exactly.
If you're not using that time to your benefit, then maybe you ought to look at your life and reevaluate what you're doing that makes you lazy as opposed to just regenerating.
Right.
You know,
Are you being lazy or are you regenerating?
And
Are
see,
you
this introspection time, most people don't like to do that.
Well, yeah, because we have to question ourselves. Nobody wants to, what am I doing that really bothers me? Well, to hell with all that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to focus on my Christmas shopping.
No, get over yourself and use that time for you.
Exactly.
So, predictions and dream time. Winter invites us inward. Get that? It invites us inward. It doesn't throw us inward. It doesn't lock the door behind us. It doesn't lock all the windows and everything. It just invites us to take that time for each other or for ourselves.
And each other.
Yeah. And that's in both home and self.
Exactly.
Pagan traditions often use this time for rune casting, especially for the year ahead insight, fire gazing, or mirror scrying for messages from spirits, recording symbolic dreams considered messages from gods or ancestors. Keep a notebook by your bed. I can't tell you how many times I would wake up in the middle of the night. Oh my God.
I have a great idea. Yes, exactly.
I'm going to hang on to that. And then I go back to sleep and I wake up in the morning and I'm like, what the hell?
Well, and you have a great thing too. I'm like, Debbie, remember blah, blah, blah. And you look right at me and went, no, I've gone to sleep since then. What the hell? So write it down. And I know that, we have that electronic notepad, but for me, being who I am and being raised before all of this technology, I actually remember things better when I write them down because they have shown scientifically that there is a correlation between the brain retaining information and writing it down versus typing it.
Right. But I mean, there are some people, who can't see all that.
Yeah, right. And my glasses aren't working.
But we do have the capability because we have phones, we have iPads and things like that. Hit that microphone and say, okay, I just had this great idea. For
right.
Blah, blah, blah. It's there. You wake up in the morning, you're like, holy crap.
Well, and it's like for every person who ever wanted to have an assistant and go, write that down, read that back.
Right.
You've got that now.
You've got that.
Turn on the what we in our family lovingly call Joogle. Because if you say it properly, Google, every appliance, every device in the house is going, how can I help you? So we call it Joogle because that's how our middle grandbaby could say that word. Hey Joogle, write it down, take a note for me, blah, 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 blah. And then you said, and if you need to do what I do is I will use my my microphone and have it write it down for me, and then I'll go and I'll actually write it into my book of shadows or write it on a piece of paper,
morning or afternoon or whenever, because you've got time.
Exactly.
But however you do it, do it
right.
Winter is not the end. It's the sacred pause, the breath between cycles. Take advantage of that. It teaches us how to honor endings. That's important. Embrace stillness and trust in the light's return. So many people, things have ended in their life and they might be sad, but celebrate it too.
Well, and
it's a job done.
And this is also the time of year, like, for example, speaking of social media, I see a lot of people, oh, the holidays are coming up. I miss mom. I miss dad. I miss grandma. Yeah, because they're visiting you. And that's why they're in the forefront of your mind, because this is the time to say, hey, I miss you, you know, and honor them and their passing, because everything's a cycle. We all are born, we live, we die. And
this is a great time to talk about them too. Remember when grandma burned the turkey? You know, something like that. And it's funny, and you know, grandma's up there going, thanks for remembering.
This is when the psychic hears, that is not what I said.
That's right. Yeah. Wrapped in darkness, winter is the season of magic.
Absolutely.
Rest and deep ancestral memory. If you know me, you know I love night magic anyhow. So why not take advantage of it?
Yep.
Listen to all that and use it.
Exactly. Especially this year, because Yule also happens to fall on new moon. So it's like dark. It's not just dark. It's dark.
It's like really dark.
This is all about releasing and focusing on what it is you want to grow. So really use this time before Yule to really think about what that is. What is your intent? What is next year's purpose for you?
In talking about that, I have a little ritual type thing. Celebration.
Ooh, love that.
I was reminded of it because there was a young lady on, I think, TikTok. I think that's where I saw it. And I was like, oh, yeah, I do that all the time. How come I never wrote that down?
Oh, witch talk, man. I see things going, I do that all the time. I just never knew there was vocabulary words for it.
So going into the depths of winter, isn't it time to start making resolutions like so many people think?
Yeah, it's not.
At least not for a witch or magical practitioner.
Right.
I'm a gardener at heart. So in my opinion and practice, this is the planting season. It's where I plant new ideas, new thoughts, come up with new creative ways to make things for everybody in the shop, things like that.
Well, and that there is that inspiration, you know, that seed of a beginning, but it's not going to begin right away, because right now it's being protected and nurtured by the earth underground where it's warmer.
And you need to take advantage of this stuff, you know, like I said, write them in your books of shadows, anything like that. So when Imbolc comes around, oh, that great idea I wanted to do for Imbolc, I got it.
Yep.
Or Beltane, or any of the
insert Sabbath here.
Yeah. So it's the time of year to start thinking about what you'd like to bring into the new year. Thinking about, not doing, thinking about.
Right.
One of the things that you can do is follow the 13 magical days. So I say 13 magical days, but really I spend all of December doing this. So do as you will.
This is where you got the 12 days of Christmas from, y'all.
This is just something I've included in my own practice. It's a way of bringing the old year and the new together.
Right.
Between now and the solstice, I start thinking about and writing down 13 things that I'd like to see come to fruition. Actually, it's more like 113 for me, anyhow. It's a 13 is a goal. It's not written in stone. Like guidelines.
Right. It's like the Pirates Code.
Yes.
Guidelines.
Yes, exactly. I do this so that each one has time to sit, sprout, and ripen within me, as well as the universe. So I have a whole little notebook, if you will, that I do. Okay, this may sound familiar, but one important variation, they won't begin with I want or I wish.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute.
Okay.
The word want. I teach my students in everyday magic class as well as any other class that I teach. If you look up the word want in the dictionary, it means to lack or not have enough of. So do you really want it? Because you're just going to continue to not have it and to lack it.
Mhm.
So remember, words have power. That's why we call it spelling.
Mhm.
So really consider how you're writing those down. What words are you using? Look them up in the dictionary, even the older dictionaries, because sometimes, as slang has, it's a living language, so it morphs. But you have to understand the real old world, and the old world meaning of want is to lack or not have enough of.
You have to know where you've been to know where you're going.
Exactly.
Say that all the time.
Exactly.
So instead of saying I want or I wish, how about I am or
Ooh.
I have?
Nice. I desire.
Any of those things.
Yep.
With each one written as if it already has come to fruition. I want to make it clear, though, that this is strictly for me. You don't have to do this, but
It's a
It's what-
suggestion.
yes, I never take on the responsibility of someone else's needs.
Well,
Important.
and I
Because
think
that's taking their will,
Mhm.
their life lessons away from them.
Exactly. Don't help without permission.
Right.
If someone has not asked you for help, what if, just supposition here, what if by you helping, you wiped out their entire life lesson and now they got to start all over again?
Yeah, exactly. So don't do that. Another thing, let's see, I never take on responsibility or someone else's needs or wants, as that would be taking away someone else's will. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, we don't do that.
Now,
You don't
these-
practice magic for someone else without permission.
And be careful even asking for that permission because you got a lot to do on your own.
Well, and it
Of your own
chromatically,
stuff.
right, and it chromatically connects you immediately to everything that's being done. So that's why normally
Yeah.
here at the shop or even in my apothecary, we're like, here's what you need to do, but you do it
Mhm.
because this is a you thing and you need
Yeah.
to be involved in it.
Yeah,
Not
I've had
us.
people come in. I need you. I would like to hire you to do to work this spell for me. Absolutely not.
Yeah, especially if it's a binding.
100%
No.
no,
Mm-mm.
because that person needs to learn how to take care of themselves. You teach a
Absolutely.
baby how to feed himself.
Yeah.
You don't continue
Exactly.
feeding him all the way up till he's 18. God, I hope not.
No.
Anyhow.
Not
so
saying that
these-
if a person needed it, it would be bad.
yeah,
But you get the point of
Oh,
don't
yeah.
go above and beyond. You don't
Right.
have to.
these are the seeds of my own becoming, as it were. I take each one in turn. Now, this is once we get to Yule. I take each one in turn, fold it, and keep it safe. So when I write them,
Mhm.
I don't really do it that way anymore. I just write them in my book,
Mhm.
and then for Yule, I
Mhm.
do. Then on the 12 nights before the solstice, I take out one and burn it. I usually take out a page because I've got a bunch of stuff I want to do.
Well, and again, you can do this however you feel is
Mhm.
correct for you.
Right. And so one each night, that's one page for me, one of your ideas or whatever for you.
Right. Right.
Oh, and one seed at a time.
Mhm.
Okay. Depending on the year and my perspective, I use either one of my Yule candles, Lord of Winter, or the Winter Witch. Those are my favorites to use, which we have here in the shop, just so you know.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, shameless plug, whatever. Hey, I had to think about those.
Well, yeah, but the
A
thing
long
is,
time to come
but
up
the
with
thing
it
is,
so they
though,
work correctly.
is that is part of that underworld. That's part of that
Mhm.
being in the darkness is working that shit out.
Yep. I wanted to make it perfect so other people could use them as well.
Exactly.
Or simply burn in a fireproof dish or cauldron.
Okay, let's go over fire safety because we do not want to be held liable for any fires that happen. If you are going to burn something, she said fire safe container. That usually means
Yep.
cast iron, metal. Make sure that it's not on wood because metal gets hot. Remember to look up. Okay, do not be the witch on the 6 o'clock news that burned down their house because they didn't bother to look up. So be careful with the fire and burning stuff.
Anything metal, ceramic, metal, cast iron, things like that. Anything that you can burn in.
And understand that if it is ceramic or if it's glass, the fire can make it explode.
If it's been kiln, you're okay.
True.
That's what I always tell people. If it's ceramic and it's been kiln, then you're okay.
Yeah.
So much to being a witch.
Just be careful being a witch.
Mm-hmm.
Don't burn yourself or your house down.
Now, for the things that I do, I don't read them because I read them when I wrote them.
Right. And you wrote them, so you know what they say.
And so I have to trust myself. And so what I do is I don't read my seeds, if you will. So I don't know which one it is. I just reach in my book and I don't start at the beginning. I just
random.
Yeah, wherever. It's fun because it's like, okay, I wonder which one of those.
Right. Which one did I do?
One did I do? You know? In this way, I treat each one with respect and equal amount of power that I put into it upon writing and burning it.
Right.
Because I feel like if you read them, you know, oh man, I really want that house. So that's the one you're going to put all your power into. And the other ones are
exactly.
Yeah, I don't want to burp in public.
Right.
You know, you don't care. So this, you know what I mean? No. You put the same amount of energy, love, and respect into each seed.
Exactly. Because each seed is going to blossom and grow and become what you are desiring, what you are asking for.
Yeah.
Exactly. What that inspiration is meant to be.
Yeah. So in this way, it puts the trust up to the universe, my guides, my ancestors, whatever, it's already on its way to fruition.
Right.
So, and then I don't think about it anymore. I just trust that it's going to happen. Right. Then on the 13th night, I unfold the last remaining piece of paper, that last seed of hope, and keep it for myself.
Well, there you go.
That's what I specifically work on into the new year. And I never know what it is.
Right. Because you were doing it randomly.
Right. But again, that's just me.
But intuition.
Some people might do 1 through whatever.
Right. But for some people, that's intuitive. I ended up with the final piece. This is what my guides, this is what my deities, this is what my ancestors are giving me a cue that I need to work on.
Exactly. It's kind of like in your tarot readings. You never know what card is coming up.
No, you don't.
And you know, for me, when I'm doing my oracle readings, it's the same time, it's the same way. People look at me and they're like, and I'm like, hey,
I didn't pick it.
I didn't pick it. It's not my pick.
Right. Exactly.
You did it. It's your work. So you better trust the information that you're getting.
Right.
Anyway, that's the seed that I cultivate for myself. That's the work I need to do for myself in the upcoming year. And sometimes I don't like it.
Well, but sometimes we have to work on stuff we don't like, which is called shadow work.
I have to trust that the others will be tended by the universe in their own good time.
And it'll show up when it's supposed to. Yeah.
That's so damn
well, and it's because in society we're taught control. Okay, control is an illusion. There is very little you can control. One of the few things you can control is you.
Yeah, and that's why we have this time. It's to get to know you again.
So you can control it.
Right.
Being you.
So it's in this way during the dark time that I try to think of my magical practice as an empty garden with rich soil waiting for bulbs to be put into the dark, rich soil of the earth to rest and gather energy to grow. So that is just my stuff. And it's not this big, elaborate ritual. You know, I try to do it the same time every day. So it is a ritual,
But that's not mandatory though.
But it's not mandatory.
Mm-mm.
I mean, you know, if I have to go to the bathroom, I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Right? You gotta do it. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Uh-huh.
You know. And the ancestors like, we'll wait. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
We're
We'll
good.
wait.
We're good.
Yeah, exactly. They don't care.
So I try and do it every day at the same time as the ritual part.
Yeah.
And then I just set my little notebook aside.
Yep.
And then when the 13 days before Yule starts up,
Mm-hmm.
that's when I start tearing out the pages, folding it up nice and neat. I don't even look at the words.
Right.
You know,
Right.
just fold it in half immediately after ripping it out.
Yep.
Fold it up, give it my love and attention for the moment, and burn it.
Yep.
That's my homage to myself. It's the gift I give to myself.
Well, and you can think of whatever you want to. What is the energy you want to imbue into that? This is a seed that I'm putting out there, that it will grow and become abundant. Blah 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 blah. Ostara, Beltane, Litha, as the summer and the sun, you know, becomes the longest day of the year. And that is part of what that descent into the underworld is all about, knowing that we are above and we are in the warmth and the sun, but there's the opposite. There's balance, the yin, the yang. You have to have both.
Now, there is another way that you can also do this, and I've done this in the past. I usually make a Yule log to burn. And so for me, I might, on the 13 days, instead of burning it, I will roll it up and seal it and stick it in the Yule log.
Oh, there you go. See, I've heard of that ritual too. I've heard of people doing that.
There's several ways that you can do it. Be creative, whatever works for you.
I've also heard of some rituals, like, for example, we had an elder who had a Yule party every year. And when the party started, there were no lights allowed in the house. None, not even candles. It was darker than dark. Then when we did the ritual was when we started lighting each other's candles.
Yes.
And then we didn't really turn on lights. We went by candlelight. So there are things that you can do to honor yourself for this and to still do it, but to also be creative at the same time.
Yes, you need all, and this is the time to re-energize so that you can be creative.
Exactly.
So on that note, that's pretty much all I have to say this year
on the descent
on this particular subject. But I hope it inspires our listeners. And
absolutely.
If they have any questions, come in, call. What we like you coming in because we want to sell you stuff. But by the same token, we like to see your eyes and we like to hear your voices.
Well, and there's a certain connection that you get through interacting with a human or a person that you do not get through electronics.
Right.
You know, and so just a reminder also that for the Thanksgiving weekend, if the room fits and Sarah and Witchery both will be in compliance with the national blackout. And so we are just simply going to be closed. We will be reopening
to Tuesday.
Exactly. We'll be reopening on December 2nd. Now, I will not be in the apothecary because Shannon and I will be making some products down in Salem to be ready for the holiday season. But Debbie will be here. And then I'll be back on Wednesday the 3rd. But for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of Thanksgiving week of 2025, we will not be open because we want to show our support in the nationwide blackout, letting the powers that be know we are not happy with what they are doing currently.
Yes, I'm giving up Shop Small Saturday.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
exactly. So. And I, as am I, but we feel that this is important. We feel that this is something that needs to be said.
This is something we can do.
Exactly, and be supportive of those who need to have that break going into the underworld of not doing it.
No pressure.
No pressure. We don't have to worry about it. We aren't going to freak out. But come December 2nd, 3rd, 4th, We will be open our normal times.
We better see bodies.
Yeah, right. we hope that you guys will come and
Yeah.
break down our doors, and not literally,
Not literally.
but come and visit us and see what we have, because we have some wonderful gifts.
And we have new things coming in the shop all the time.
Exactly.
On that note, though, I would like personally to wish all of you a very happy Thanksgiving. Please think about using this dark time to re-energize and set new goals for yourself. And don't beat yourself up over what you don't have.
Yeah,
Enjoy what you do.
exactly. I want to wish you all a happy holiday. And I hope that you enjoy your time with your families. And we look forward to next month. We don't have a podcast title yet. We haven't been given any recent subjects. So if you can think of anything that you'd like to hear us talk about, please contact us and let us know. But until then, happy holidays and blessed be.
Happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you in December.
Thank you.